Hello, good afternoon. My name is Ruth Prigustia and I am from 6A. And now I would like to explain about multiple intelligence. There are 8 types of multiple intelligence. The first one is linguistic, and then visual, and then mathematical, and then uh, kinesthetic, and then naturalist, and the next is interpersonal intelligence, next is intrapersonal intelligence, and then the last one is musical intelligence. And now at this time I would like to explain about visual spatial intelligence. Visual spatial intelligence is an intelligence that someone have, and then that people have a big sense with in learning with shapes, images, patterns, textures, and then design. They can be so imaginative and understanding more if they can feel or see that things. People with visual spatial intelligence would be aware with objects, shapes, colors, textures, and pattern in the environment around them. Besides that, they can imagine the things that explained by someone without seeing it in the real life, because they can build their own imagination about that things in their own mind. And then people with visual spatial intelligence would be really enjoy to work with jigsaw puzzles, and then reading maps or find their way to the new places. People with visual spatial intelligence also like to draw, paint, and then make interesting designs and patterns, and also like to work with clay, color marks, and then construction paper and fabric. For visual spatial intelligence, there are some careers that would be appropriate with it, like architect, art director, computer design, computer animator, fashion design, and many other careers that related with image or design. The characteristic of visual spatial intelligence. The first one is good with their hands. For people with visual spatial intelligence, they will really enjoy to work with their own hand, and then they will use their hands effectively when they work something, and then they will use the coordination between hand and eye, and then they can work effectively. And the next characteristic is good at solving puzzles. For people with visual spatial intelligence would be really enjoy to solve any puzzles, because they have a big imagination in their own minds, and then they will be able to solve the puzzles easier, and solving puzzle would be one of interesting activities that they can do. The next characteristics is easy for them to visualize pictures in their own head. People with visual spatial intelligence would be easy to imagine something in their head, and they can just imagine this just through other people's explanation, and then they can build their own image in their mind. The next characteristic is prefer to read books that have pictures in it. For people that have visual spatial intelligence would be like to read any books that have pictures in it, because they can understand the books easier, and then they can see in the picture and easy for them to imagine the books and then understand the books more. And then the next characteristic is can remember place vividly. For them who has visual spatial intelligence, would be really easy to them to remember any places, like a new places, even though they just come there for a few times, because when they memorize it, it would be like solving a puzzle in their mind. So it would be really easy for them to memorize it. And then other that, uh, people with visual spatial intelligence has a strong memory. Because of that, it's really easy for them to remember new places. And then the last characteristic is notice shapes and colors. For people with visual spatial intelligence, we really like to give any attention to the shapes and then colors around them, and then they really enjoy to learn through that shapes and colors around them. Now, how the teacher teach the students, and then how the people with visual spatial intelligence learn. uh, Teacher can add some pictures or can give them an example of things while they are learning in the class. So students will build their own imagination, and then they can memorize it, and they can make their own knowledge about the materials that teacher gave. For TEYL students, teacher can use project-based learning. For example, children really love to watch any superhero movies or cartoon. So they will have their own favorite superhero or cartoon pictures in their mind. So in the class, the teacher can ask them to draw any favorite characters that they really like, and then through the result of the drawing, teacher will know how the students make their imagination in their own mind. And then teacher will also know who is the students who has a really good visual spatial intelligence and who has not. Okay, that's all about my explanation about visual spatial intelligence. I hope you guys understand it and enjoy it, and sorry if I do any mistakes while I am explaining it to you all. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.